The house that kept saying just one more room. Nobody in the street could remember exactly when the house started growing. Number 14 had always been a modest little place, a perfectly respectable 2 up, 2 down, with a front garden that leaned slightly to the left and a back garden that leaned emotionally. But at some point, possibly after a long family meeting involving tea, biscuits, and the phrase "it'll only be a small extension," the house decided it wasn't done yet. It rose upward as if it had a plan. The first extension was for Granny Elsie. Granny had lived with the family before, of course, on the sofa bed that creaked like its own regrets haunted it. She never complained, not properly. She just sighed loudly, at regular intervals, and muttered things like, "Well, I won't be here forever," which somehow made everyone feel both guilty and suspicious. So when she slipped on the 3rd stair one winter and announced, from the floor, that she'd had a good innings anyway, the family agreed something had to be done. They added a room. Not out the back. The garden was already a complicated negotiation between roses, bins, and a barbecue nobody remembered buying. Instead, the builders suggested going up. "Just one room," said Dave, the dad, confidently. "Right on top." Simple. The builders exchanged a look that builders exchange when they know something will not, under any circumstances, be simple. Granny's room ended up perched above the original house like a polite little hat. It had a small balcony, because Granny liked to get some air, and railings, because the council insisted. She immediately filled it with plants that looked cheerful but smelled faintly of damp socks. Granny loved it. She waved at the neighbors every morning from her balcony, whether they were there or not. She claimed the height gave her perspective. Mostly, it gave her the ability to shout helpful comments at people reversing their cars. "Mind the curb. That's not your bin. I saw you bringing shopping in yesterday." The house, content for the moment, settled. Then the eldest son, Liam, turned 17. Liam played the guitar. That sentence doesn't begin to cover it. Liam played the guitar all the time. Morning, afternoon, night. Acoustic, electric, half acoustic but still loud. He played while standing, sitting, pacing, thinking, not thinking, and once memorably while brushing his teeth, resulting in toothpaste on the fretboard and a solo that sounded like despair. He played folk songs he didn't understand, blues he absolutely felt, and experimental pieces that sounded like a fight between a wasp and a dustbin. He insisted he was finding his sound. Everyone else insisted he find it somewhere else. The arguments started gently. "Maybe just, not after 10, said Mom, Karen, diplomatically. "Music has no clock," said Liam, solemnly. "Well, it does," said Dave. "It's called a watch." Granny tried to be supportive. "He's got talent," she said, banging on the ceiling with her walking stick whenever Liam hit a wrong note. "I can tell." The younger children Rosie and Ben developed the ability to sleep through anything, including thunderstorms, and Liam practicing the same 4 chords for 45 minutes because they weren't quite right. Eventually, after one particularly long night where Liam experimented with slide guitar using a spoon, the family reached another meeting. Tea. Biscuits. That phrase again. "It'll only be a small extension." This time, the builders didn't even pretend. Liam's room was added above Granny's, slightly to the side, because apparently the house couldn't go straight up without structural feelings. It had soundproofing, allegedly, and a little deck where Liam could stand and stare dramatically into the distance while strumming. From the outside, the house now looked like it had been stacked by someone who'd lost the instructions halfway through. Different colored walls appeared, because matching paint felt dishonest. Windows popped up in places no one expected. A staircase zigzagged around the back like it was trying to escape. The neighbors started asking questions. "Is it finished?" asked Mrs. Patel from next door. "Oh yes," said Karen, smiling tightly. "Finished." The house laughed quietly to itself. Granny settled into her new routine. She liked having Liam above her. She said the vibrations helped her circulation. She developed strong opinions about his music and shouted them through the ceiling. "That one sounds angry. That one sounds like it wants a lie down. Play the nice one again." Liam took this as encouragement. As the years went on, the house grew, sideways. Ben needed space to build things that definitely weren't dangerous, so a small room appeared off the back. Rosie wanted a quiet place to read, so a nook emerged, squeezed between two existing walls like it had always been waiting. The house developed habits. It creaked thoughtfully at night. It leaned slightly into the wind. It accepted laundry lines strung between railings that had once been balconies for something else. And somehow, it worked. Family life filled every oddly shaped corner. Dinner was loud and chaotic. Arguments echoed up staircases that turned twice for no reason. Laughter spilled out of windows that didn't line up. Granny told stories from her balcony, leaning on the railing like a queen surveying her kingdom. Liam practiced, improved, and sometimes drove everyone mad, but also played gentle tunes on Sunday mornings that made the whole place feel calm for exactly 12 minutes. The house held it all. Until the storm. It arrived suddenly, as storms often do, roaring in from the hills and rattling the mismatched windows like it was checking for weaknesses. Rain lashed sideways. The flag on the upper extension whipped wildly, refusing to commit to a direction. Inside, the family gathered not because they had to, but because that's what they did when things felt uncertain. Granny sat wrapped in a blanket, issuing updates from her balcony door. "It's proper weather, this. I've seen worse. That plant's not going to make it." Liam, uncharacteristically quiet, picked up his guitar and played softly, not a performance, just something steady. The house groaned. There was a moment, just a moment, when everyone felt it. A deep, unsettled shudder that ran from the bottom floor to the very top. Dave froze. "Did you feel that?" The house leaned. "Just a fraction." Silence followed, broken only by the rain and one of Granny's pots tipping over dramatically. For the first time, the family wondered if maybe, just maybe, they'd asked too much of their growing home. The builders came the next day. They walked around the house slowly, scratching their heads, consulting clipboards that looked nervous. "Well," one of them said carefully, "it's impressive." "That's good, right?" asked Karen. "It's ambitious," said the builder. They recommended reinforcements. "Braces." A bit of structural honesty. Work began again, not to add, but to strengthen. Beams tucked quietly into walls. Supports hidden behind cupboards. The house sighed, relieved. Through it all, Granny supervised. Liam played encouraging music. The kids handed tools they absolutely shouldn't have been trusted with. When it was done, the house stood steady. Still strange. Still tall. Still refusing to make sense on paper. But solid. Years passed. Granny grew older, slower, but still sharp as ever. She watched great-grandchildren from her balcony and told them the house grew because it was loved too much to stay small. Liam left, came back, left again. He played gigs. He recorded songs. He always returned to practice in his old room, claiming the acoustics were emotionally correct. The house waited. It didn't grow anymore, not outwardly, at least. It had learned its limits. But inside, it held memories in every uneven corner. Scratches on door frames. Dents in walls from moving furniture that was never meant to go there. On quiet evenings, when the light glowed from all the mismatched windows and a soft guitar drifted into the street, people slowed as they passed. They didn't always understand the house. But they felt something from it. Like it had been built the way families are, not from perfect plans, but from need, love, compromise, and the firm belief that somehow, it would all hold together. And somehow, it did. On quiet evenings, when the light glowed from all the mismatched windows and a soft guitar drifted into the street, people slowed as they passed. They didn't always understand the house. But they felt something from it. Like it had been built the way families are, not from perfect plans, but from need, love, compromise, and the firm belief that somehow, it would all hold together. And on this particular evening, the light was warmer than usual. Every window was glowing. Even the awkward little one near the stairs that never quite lined up with anything else. Paper snowflakes clung to the glass, some neat, some ambitious. A string of fairy lights zigzagged along the railings, ignoring basic principles of symmetry. Inside, the house smelled of roasted vegetables, gravy, and something slightly overdone but still insisted upon. Granny sat wrapped in her favorite blanket, a tinsel halo slipping sideways on her head. "I told you not to put that near the radiator," she said, cheerfully ignoring the fact it was already there. The table was crowded. Extra chairs. A wobble that no one mentioned. Crackers waiting to be pulled with exaggerated caution. Liam stood near the stairs, guitar in hand, quietly tuning just one song he'd promised, and for once everyone believed him. Outside, the wind moved gently around the house, but didn't push. The house stood firm, lights glowing, holding everyone exactly where they needed to be. Somewhere between the laughter, the clink of glasses, and the first soft chord drifting upward through the floors, Christmas arrived, not loudly, not perfectly, but properly. And the house, patched together from years of just one more room, creaked contentedly, as if to say, "Yes. This is what I was built for."